Hi, welcome to Loving Light Hour. My name is Reverend Len. This hour we'll be talking about identifying with the animal or disidentifying with the animal self. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the show. And for those of you who have people like on the mainland that you want to hear the show or see the show, we're on YouTube. Just go to Loving Light Hour on YouTube, and if they subscribe, which you don't have to pay any money, but if you subscribe, then you can see all 6 shows, all 6 segments, because you have to break them up into 10-minute segments. So you'll see all 6 segments of the show, and they even come out consecutively, so they can watch 10 minutes. So if there's something you want to share with somebody on the mainland or somebody, or even here, you can even tell them to, if it's someplace in the back of the show, tell them to watch the last couple of segments. I know there's only a few people that I know that watch the whole show. I'm one of them, but I like it. I always hear it again. We have this knowledge and this understanding of things that is kind of tucked away in one part of our brain. My teacher would talk about it as the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is always working, but it has an understanding that's so deep that it's very basic, very animalistic almost. It takes care of the heart, takes care of the all of the bodily functions, and is very very simple. So we're always trying to get these deep understandings. We're trying to process them and bring them into our unconscious. All of this work is about the trick of how do you do that. I mean, it's easy to say, well, you should be, you should take better care of yourself and stuff like that. Well, everybody knows they're supposed to take better care of themselves. I mean, you don't have to go tell a drunk, an alcoholic, a drug addict that drinking isn't good for them. They know it's not good for them. They do it anyway. We know what's not good for us, but there's this animalistic, this animal part of us, these drives, and we talked about this before, where we have these animal drives, these basic drives. They're sleeping, sex, survival, and eating. Those are the 4 fountains, and these are the 4 fountains that are kind of the unconscious is completely identified with and wrapped up in. And the unconscious doesn't know what is real and is not real. It only knows what it perceives. So, for instance, if we're in the survival state, if our unconscious is not developed, in other words, if we haven't grown through experience, then we're still at the level of really a small child, where somebody says you're a stupid head, that throws you into a rage and you go start hitting them. As we get older, because our survival program kicks in. It says my life is being threatened. Well, life's not being threatened. Your ego is being threatened. Your sense of being, your sense of self, maybe. I mean, but that's only for a small child. As for adults, we grow up and we grow out of. I mean, unless you go into the track of staying stuck there, in which case you're combative, and you're fighting at the drop of the hat, and you have a very short temper. All these terminology we use, it's really being identified with the survival. It's kind of letting the survival program or the survival part of us take control and not be regulated. There's nobody governing it. There's no adult there saying it's okay. Somebody's calling you a stupid head. Possibly they're a stupid head. I mean, you can laugh at that, because that's a silly thing to say anyways. And I wonder what's wrong with that person, that they goes around attacking people. And I mean, there was all sorts of things we learn as we grow, and we pull our ego in. You know, we don't have our aura isn't that big. And it's as you get older and you get wiser, it's harder to offend you. It's not that you become calloused; it's that you become open-minded. You become you understand the process of life. You understand that life is short, and that getting all hooked into these crazy patterns that where you're going to fight and get into arguments or put all your energy into defending ideologies and stuff like that. Where you grow out of that. You're saying, I'm not an American. I'm a spirit. I live in America. I live in the United States. I have citizenship there, but I'm a spirit. I'm an entity. I'm a human being. You know, we're all trying to evolve to being human. The animal drives, and we talked about this before in one of our in our chakra series, which we'll have on YouTube for you. So we should have them start to set them up so that you'll be able to see different series. If my daughter's home from school, so I have another 2 weeks to corral her, and with a friend of mine, Larry Norriger, is also teaching her. Larry's the one that's been putting things on YouTube, so she's teaching her, and he's teaching her, and she's teaching me. And between the three of us, we'll get them on YouTube every week. But there's a whole series. I got many series, so we'll be starting to put them on there. So if you want to see a series, if you want to see, like something on the chakras or on meditation, there'll be a series on meditation. There's a series on our work, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. This is really our work. This is, I say our work. It's really my wife's work, and she's taught me, and she's just amazing. That's all. I mean, she's amazing. She has a gift of insight and a gift of knowledge that only comes around once in a while. And I mean, I recognize it because I've been around people that have had this gift, and they've had to work hard for it. And she's had to work hard for it too. But there'll be a series on our work, and which is about the disidentification, but the acceptance of our shadow side or our animal side. And it's kind of like the training of our animal side. But it really is, I mean, there isn't any animal there. I mean, there's only a process. We're a process. And as we understand this process, we understand how this process is affected by outside stimuli. And it's affected by outside stimuli, by sounds, by sights, by feelings, by smells, by tastes, by thoughts. And it's affected by an inner process of thoughts and emotions that often are from outside, but mostly are from the past, which is past memory, and future, which is future fears and worries and things like that. Those types of thoughts and worries they affect us and set upon our fears, our anger, and our wrong view. Those are the three main items. If we can deal with fear, we can deal with anger, and we can deal with wrong perception. And they say everything, 90% or more, whatever percentage, is perception, and yeah, that's true. I mean, I've often heard people talking about their childhood, and then you talk to their parents, and weeding out parental blocking and stuff. But you see, there's a big difference of how a child experiences life and how a parent's experiencing the child experiencing life. It's all perception. To the parent, it's just the day. To the child, it's a devastating day, where Daddy said, "You're a dummy." Maybe he was kidding, maybe he was angry, but Daddy, it was just like one of those things where, hey, he lost his temper. Big deal. To the child, enormously big perception. That moment, whatever it was the wrong moment for Daddy to say that. To Daddy, He's like that, you know, he's like that. Says things off the cuff and shoots off the mouth. Didn't mean, no big deal to him.